Hey, party people and party sheeple, we're going to go through this together. The people's voice. And the people's voice has a lot to say, especially about data centers. I don't know how they get these whistleblowers, but they do. And these data centers are going up fucking everywhere. That's all I hear about. That's all I hear about. And they're using ungodly amounts of water to cool it down. That's the story, and they're sticking to it. It's not like my question is like why can't they just use a certain amount of water like your car does, right? Like your damn truck, track trail, whatever. It circulates and cools down the engine, right? It heats up somehow and then it cools down, and it's the same water used over and over again, your radiator, over and over again. You don't have to keep adding water to your car's radiator every friggin' day. No. So for some strange reason, you have to use fresh water continuously for all these damn data centers. And there's one going up in Utah that's at least twice the size of Manhattan, or the area that it's going to take up. Why do you need an area that's twice the size of Manhattan for these fucking data centers? Well, perhaps this whistleblower can help us out to kill people, to track and ultimately kill. So let's see.
A data center insider has come forward with horrifying revelations about the AI megafacilities rising across the country. These aren't harmless tech campuses powering the internet. They're command centers for a globalist system of surveillance and control beyond anything humanity has ever seen. The insider claims the architecture being built inside these compounds will make the surveillance state of modern-day China look primitive by comparison. Vast AI networks tracking entire populations in real time, total biometric surveillance, predictive behavior analysis, financial monitoring, psychological profiling. A machine designed not just to watch humanity, but to police, manipulate, and control it algorithmically. And according to the whistleblower, the elites building this system are preparing to perpetrate crimes against humanity on a scale the world has never witnessed. Because this isn't just about controlling the population, it's about depopulating it. The only question the globalists are asking is who survives the coming collapse, and who remains behind as obedient slaves inside the digital concentration camp they're building. But
I loathe fucking Bill Gates. But then again, I loathe all these evil sons of bitches. Including that rat Dr. Fauci, witch Dr. Fauci. Okay, let me rewind this a little bit.
the globalists are
Hold on.
whistleblower, surveillance and control.
Oh, God. All right. Go ahead.
Building this system are preparing to perpetrate crimes against humanity on a scale the world has never witnessed. Because this isn't just about controlling the population, it's about depopulating it. The only question the globalists are asking is who survives the coming collapse. You still think the data centers are there to store family photos, emails, and streaming videos? That's the bait and switch they're feeding the public, while something far darker is being built behind the curtain. The New World Order never disappeared. It just stopped announcing itself and went digital.
I believe the progress that we have made in the partnership sets us up well for the new world order.
Across the country, enormous concrete fortresses, many times larger than Manhattan, are rising out of farmland at unbelievable speed. Entire communities are being transformed into industrial AI.
This has got to stop.
Power grids are being expanded for them.
It's got to stop.
Water supplies are being drained for them. Small towns.
Oh, yeah. I like the way they talk about the environment and how global warming and all this shit. I'm sure these mega data centers are not going to affect our environment negatively, right? As they spray our skies, as they poison the water and the food, right? I don't want to hear anything out of any of these sons of bitches about global warming, carbon footprint, or anything, because these bastards are the ones that are causing all the effing chaos, the weather chaos, and mayhem, and destroying crops, destroying our livestock. These bastards. It's not us. It's not us average everyday folk. It's these sons of bitches that are doing things like data centers and taking all the water out and poisoning our rivers and overfishing our oceans. And I even saw a video. I didn't see it yet. I saw a title of it that the fish that you eat has been quaxinated. Is nothing sacred anymore? Nothing to these bastards. Like I've said for years, This world needs a severe exorcism of all these demons.
Surrounded by these gigantic facilities humming day and night, like mechanical cities. And behind these data
I can't
centers
stand this
stands
son
the
of a
usual
bitch.
suspects.
Fucking
Bill
frog-looking
Gates,
piece of
BlackRock,
crap.
Palantir. And they're racing to build these data centers before the public fully realizes what's unfolding right in front of them. Larry Fink understands what will happen when the public wakes up. That's why he's preemptively accusing any American who fights back of being a domestic terrorist.
Many more
Fuck
things
that
that have to
shit.
be underground. But even here in the
No,
United
these bastards are the domestic terrorists. It's opposite day, all right? They want to call you a domestic terrorist if you want to go up to if you go up to the school board meeting and you want to say, "Hey, look at this book right here. It's pornographic, and we need this the hell out of the library." Well, then they want to label you a domestic terrorist. They want to label you a domestic terrorist because you want your damn border secure, or they label you a domestic terrorist because maybe you don't want to be sprayed like a bug, or have fucking data centers go up everywhere, tracking you, right? Every little breath you take, every move you make, they'll be watching you. It's just, it's not time to take our world back. It's way past time. We're running on fumes of time to take our world back. Otherwise, this is the dystopian future looking straight at us. And it's not like 10 years, 20 years down the road. It's here. 2030 is around the corner. And hell far, this world's been pretty dystopian for the last, what? I don't know. Depends on what, 2001, but even worse since the con job 1984.
States, if we're going to be building, let's say, these 1 gigawatt data centers, how do we make sure we're not protecting those $50 billion, $75 billion investments? We have to re-look at everything because of the role of drone warfare. Right now we're looking at it internationally, but one of my concerns is could it be a domestic terrorism using a $3,000 drone? So all of these things are actually opportunities, not problems. It's going to require, as we said, trillions of dollars of capital.
Before you take him at face value, you should be aware Fink went on the record calling for mass depopulation in Western countries to elevate the elite standard of living.
Start with yourself, bitch.
I could argue.
Start with yourself.
Developed countries, the big winners are countries that have shrinking.
All these bastards, all these winners of countries have shrinking populations. Fucking start with yourself. Bill Gates, you piece of shit. Start with yourself. You want to depopulate? Why don't you lead by example? Y'all claim to be leaders. Lead by example. Fink. Yes, what you are, Fink. That rat bastard Dr. Fauci. Deborah Birx, you piece of crap, you. All you sons of bitches want to Georgia Guidestone us. We want depopulation, and you just heard the demon say, well, these countries with less population are really thriving. That doesn't make any sense. But whatever, all right? Start with yourself. Delete yourself from this world, all right? Lead by example. Show us how it's done. You all hell-bent on damn fucking death all the damn time. Show us how it's done. Oh, you won't, will you? But you want to delete us. F that damn noise. And I'm sick and tired of seeing Canada with their MAID, M-A-I-D, forgot what it stands for, but basically it's euthanization of anybody that they deem worthless. Could be elderly, could be someone who's mentally retarded or physically disabled. They like to offer euthanasia to them. Why don't these bastards euthanize them damn selves, since it's so wonderful to die and shit like that, hell-bent on death? Fucking start, lead by example. Bill Gates, fucking show us how it's done. We need an example. Show us how it's done. You being the so-called leader, lead by example. Show us how it's done to depopulate yourself. No, you won't, will you fucking frog-looking piece of crap? I'm sick and tired of this shit, man. Aren't you tired of this? And now we got data centers going up all over the place. Oh yeah, that's going to be real great for the environment. I think it'd take I heard one statistic saying 30,000 gallons a day to cool it down. And that's not reused. That's like every fucking day. That's insanity. That's pure insanity is what this is. So I don't know what it's going to take, if it's ever going to take anything, for humanity to actually wake the fuck up. And then if we do, they want to label us a domestic terrorist? These sons of bitches want to label us the terrorists because we don't want to be fucking tracked and depopulated? Are you kidding me? Oh boy, do we need an exorcism, man. Big league. But I digress at any
Before you
rate.
take him at face value, you should be aware Fink went on the record calling for mass depopulation in Western countries.
Start with yourself.
Elevate the elite standard of living.
I could argue in the developed countries, the big winners are countries that have shrinking populations.
Good. Start with yourself
That's
to shrink
something
it.
that most people never talked about. Shrinking demographics. These countries will rapidly develop robotics and AI and technology. And if the promise, I didn't say it's going to happen, but if the promise of all that transforms productivity, which most of us think it will, we'll be able to elevate the standard of living of countries and the standard of living of individuals.
Then there's Bill Gates. Mr. Depopulation himself spent the last decade quietly buying up massive stretches of farmland for reasons nobody could fully explain at the time. But now, the pattern is impossible to ignore. Wherever Gates' landholding expanded, data centers followed. Farmers are being evicted from the land, and family homes are being seized for the globalist project. We're not talking about a dystopian future. This is happening right now.
Hey you guys, my name's Ansley. I live in Coweta County, Georgia. I wanted to come out here and show you guys firsthand what is happening to our county. So as you can see behind me, we have these power lines. Georgia Power is going to expand these lines to support power to the data center. What they're doing to homeowners is they're taking their homes. This is my childhood home behind me. It is being taken by force by Georgia Power. Homeowners in this county do not have a choice. It is called eminent domain, and they will take it.
The official explanation is that these facilities are needed for cloud computing and artificial intelligence. But, according to an insider who works underground setting up one of Gates' Manhattan-sized compounds, the reality is far darker than anyone realizes. The whistleblower describes underground server halls stretching for miles, packed with systems designed not just to store information, but to monitor and predict human behavior itself. Entire divisions dedicated to real-time population tracking, behavioral modeling, and predictive surveillance. These systems don't just collect data, they're building profiles of entire societies. Every phone is a tracking device. Every smart appliance is a sensor. Every electric vehicle uploads oceans of movement data. Surveillance cameras, license plate readers, biometric scanners, bank transactions, private messages, search histories, medical records, and facial recognition systems are all fed into centralized AI networks, designed to monitor and control every aspect of human activity in real time. And sitting at the center of this surveillance architecture is Palantir.
Also at Davos last January, Palantir CEO Alex Karp said that AI will destroy humanity's jobs and described a future in which high school students train for factory jobs, no one goes to college or immigrates, and black box software run by major government contractors determines whether society is being run properly. For the more compliant, the so-called 15-minute city, smart city, and freedom city models are being built to incorporate digital ID, carbon tracking, and population monitoring. Where you live, how far you travel, and what your carbon footprint is are already being tracked in multiple countries and several US cities.
The insider says the goal is not merely to watch people, but to create digital replicas of society itself. Simulations capable of predicting unrest, identifying dissent, and disabling non-compliant individuals before they even act. Which suddenly explains why criticism of the data centers seems to vanish online almost as quickly as it appears. Videos disappear, accounts are shut down, discussions get buried. Because the machine is already protecting itself while it's still being built.
I made 2 videos talking about how Georgia Power is taking families' homes and properties against their will. One of those being my own family. I have a personal connection to this story. But when I made these videos to speak out against it, TikTok banned my videos. They said that they're a violation of community guidelines. I never violated any community guidelines. I only came on here.
Welcome to my world. I had 2 fucking accounts on TikTok. I had one account that within a year or so had 9,000 followers, and they took both of them down because, well, I talk about stuff like this and everything else New World Order is doing. But I
to tell the truth about what's happening in Coweta County, Georgia. This is happening to at least 30 people. Some of them are elderly, cannot handle this on their own. Some of these people have families. Some of these properties have been passed down by generation to generation.
And here's where the globalist future becomes truly terrifying. According to The Insider, the elites funding this AI revolution don't believe most human beings are necessary in the future they're creating.
Well,
Yuval
I could name
Harari-
quite a few human beings that are not, or they're not actually, they're demons. Like Navalny, whatever the hell this piece of shit's name, this bastard is one of the, one of the ones that we need an exorcism for. But I can name quite a few that.
The prophet of Davos has been preaching for the.
Oh my god, a commercial? Seriously? Well, all of a sudden the video froze.
Elderly cannot handle this on their own. Some of these people have families. Some of these properties have been passed down by generation to generation.
And here's where the globalist future becomes truly terrifying. According to The Insider, the elites funding this AI revolution don't believe most human beings are necessary in the future they're creating.
That's not
Yuval
necessary.
Noah Harari,
That's not
the prophet of
necessary.
Davos, has
There's
been
quite a few
preaching
that
for
are
the
not
globalist
necessary.
cult for years.
A lot that are
Now
not necessary.
BlackRock, Bill
Again,
Gates,
that's
and
not
Palantir
necessary.
are making their move and carrying
I
out
agree, there's a lot that's
sadistic
not
globalist
necessary. That's one of
They're
them.
obsessed with depopulating the world
Start with
to
them.
the tune of billions of people.
Start with themselves.
How are they planning to do it? We have the details from the bowels of the data center up next. Warning, the clock is already ticking. It turns out that the key to losing weight and keeping...
Alright, I went over news articles over the years, like science news articles saying that by 2025, about 85% of the workforce was supposed to be automated, or that was their goal. Don't forget that Deagle likes to do the depopulation, or did up until a certain point, like to do their population projections by this year, that year, and 2025, like most of this country is supposed to have been wiped out, a bulk of the West wiped out. That didn't happen. But you do know that they do want that to happen, right? Just because it didn't come to fruition at a certain time they said it would, doesn't mean that it won't at some point. Keep that in mind.
Artificial intelligence and robotics are rapidly replacing workers across every sector of society. And once human labor loses value, robotics are rapidly replacing workers across every sector of society. And once human labor loses value, the ruling class begins to see humanity itself differently. Not as citizens, not as communities, but as excess population. No wonder Palantir founder Peter Thiel can't bring himself to declare allegiance to the human race.
I think you would prefer the human race to endure, right? You're hesitating.
Well,
yes?
I don't know. I would.
This is a long hesitation. This is a long hesitation.
There's so many questions implicit
Should
in
the
this.
human race survive?
Meanwhile, the globalists are buying out elected officials, subverting the American people, refusing to allow the public to have any say in their own future. Tucker spoke with Kevin O'Leary, who is fronting a colossal new data center project in rural Utah.
I would think, since you disagree with the Chinese way of life, which is pretty civilized in a lot of ways, but the one way in which it's barbaric is that it grants its citizens no real rights. And so I would think that you would be very worried about aping their system, which we are now doing. They have total surveillance. It's panopticon in China. We should create our own. Let's take 40,000 acres in Utah and make it possible for the government to know where you are at all times and what you're thinking, listening to you on your phone. Like, we have that.
You have to choose the lesser of two evils in your scenario, and I'm telling you, what you should do is say, I want Kevin O'Leary to succeed. I want him to beat the Chinese in compute power. Then use the laws of the United States to make sure that you keep that compute power in check. To not have it available, to put down my shovel. I don't think people want me to do that. Even the people in Box Elder, the majority of them want me to hold my shovel and start digging.
There was a referendum among citizens?
3-0. The commissioners of the county said, we want to be
three people voted. The people of the
They're
county.
elected officials. That's how you do it. There's
How
no other
hard
way
is
to
it
do it.
for Kevin O'Leary and Amazon and Microsoft and Google to subvert 3 county commissioners in rural Utah?
Tucker, they asked us to come. They asked us to bring $15 billion. There's no other way to
Amazon,
do
Google,
it.
and Kevin O'Leary got 3 county commissioners in rural Utah on their side. Good work.
Suddenly, the pieces start fitting together. The attacks on the food supply, the war on farmers, the obsession with fake synthetic meat, and patented seeds, the constant expansion of surveillance technology, the push towards digital currencies and biometric identification, the normalization of censorship, the endless fear campaigns convincing people to surrender even more freedom for more security. It's all connected. The data centers are the foundation for a new kind of civilization, one where Bill Gates, Palantir, and BlackRock control every aspect of human life. A globalist civilization where a radically reduced population is monitored, scored, and controlled through data centers run by AI. George Carlin had it worked out years ago.
The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the
We're buffering big time. As you can see,
important
it's annoying.
decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets, and they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right.
But even George Carlin couldn't predict how dark the globalist vision was going to become.
And in order to keep the compliant managed and the non-compliant contained, we have Palantir, which received a no-bid contract from the USDA to track federal employees' return to office compliance with real-time analysis and continuous compliance monitoring. The contract also includes the One Farmer, One File initiative, which will give Palantir a unified database of the land holdings, conservation practices, insurance claims, and financial data of every farmer who interacts with the USDA. This is the same Palantir that is proudly assisting the United States and Israel in targeting operations against civilians across the Middle East. Palantir CEO Alex Karp published The Technological Republic in February 2025. It became an instant New York Times #1 bestseller and has been described as the AI manifesto inspiring Keir Starmer's government by the Times of London. Karp's central argument is that the state must merge its power with big tech, as it did during the Manhattan Project, to save Western civilization. The original 1930s technocracy movement, of which Elon Musk's grandfather was a member, declared that technocracy stands ready with a plan to salvage American civilization if and when democracy can no longer cope with the inherent disruptive forces.
The data centers are building a techno-communist system where ordinary people live inside tightly controlled smart cities under permanent digital supervision. Your movements tracked through carbon credit systems. Your purchases approved or denied based on behavioral scores. Your digital ID determining whether you can travel, work, communicate, or access your own money. Cash disappears, privacy disappears, anonymity disappears. And meanwhile, the elites who are determined to ascend to godhood retreat into fortified bunkers, powered by the very AI infrastructure they built on the ruins of the human world. As the digital cage closes around society, anybody digging into forbidden topics, questioning official narratives, or researching the machinery being built behind the scenes needs to understand one thing. You're being watched, tracked, and profiled. Protecting your privacy is no longer optional. Legacy VPNs, forget it. Proton, it's literally funded by the World Economic Forum and the European Union. Let that sink in. Express, Nord, Surfshark, they all keep logs, they all cave to warrants. They're all headquartered in 5949 countries that will hand your IP over faster than you can blink. You need something that can't betray you. That's VP.net, the world's first trustless VPN. No central servers they can raid.
Yeah, okay.
No logs they can seize because there's nothing to.
I've had enough.
It runs on blockchain nodes spread across thousands of independent operators.
I guess we've all been warned.
Even if the